Hi there, my name's Lorne Riseley, host of Defunct Games News, your weekly roundup for news, blah blah blah. Coming up this week, bongs, yeah, so funny. Let the hype begin as Sony reveals the PlayStation 5. We have literally all the details. We ask the question, is cross-platforming becoming the future of gaming? And other highlights include the announcement of Alex Kidd making his return in Miracle World DX. And finally, the challenge this week. What the hell does Cyril want to do now to leave the boot in? Challenge first then. Conclude a news story with a cringy rhyme. The cringier the better. But coming up first this week. When we said we didn't mean every detail, did we? The PlayStation thing went on for an hour and 15 minutes.
The boss is said to do literally everything that happened in the promo.
The PlayStation 5 has finally been revealed. For God's sake. Damn budget cuts. And as such, the hype begins! Dave, where's my echo? Where's my echo, Dave? I thought we had an echo.
Sorry, I thought someone told you. We don't have the budget for it this
We don't have the budget for an echo. Anyway, in reality, this hype train started a long time ago. Let's not forget that Xbox have already had their reveal some time ago. So this supposed hype train that's building, we've been waiting for ages for it. But anyway, now Sony have announced their details, and my God, there's a lot to get through here. So let's just crack on. There is literally too much to talk about in this segment. 20 plus games, hundreds of talking heads, some games of significance, some indie games, some games we want to talk about, some games Cyril once mentioned. So let's dive in here with Spider-Man Miles Morales, an expansion from the already established PS4 Spider-Man game. Looks great, looks dynamic, and looks like it's going to hit a lot of notes for a lot of people. Moving on, we've got Gran Turismo 7, which is the next big installment from the Gran Turismo 6 game that seemed to disappoint everyone, but looks great on paper. The graphics look seamless as always. And then, of course, you've got Godfall, which includes breathtaking weapons, such as swords and spears, according to Gearbox, so yay there. And then, of course, you've got the sequel to Horizon, which is always a nice piece of news. And then, of course, ye old Resident Evil Village, which looks fun. And then, oh, look, Demon Souls, because I need more challenging games in my life. Following up, it's the French connection with Deathloop and Bethesda's installment, which kind of looks like Bioshock if it was mixed in with Borderlands. And then, of course, you've got Returnal, which amalgamates into that death restarting mechanic which seems to be popular in these games. And then you've got Stray, a personal favourite of Cyril's, and I look at it and I think it looks reasonably interesting. Cats, neon lights and robots, what's not to like? And then finally from Cyril, you've got Little Devil Within, a RPG character-driven story with quirks, and it just seems so charming and so whimsical in lots of lovely different ways. And of course, no reveal trailer would be complete without amalgamation of other indie titles and other things to get excited about. But then you've got this game, terrible, an amalgamation of Titanfall and Destruction Derby and all the wrong things with YouTube. But anyway, my favourite game, Ghostwire Tokyo. It looks like Bioshock mixed in with Infamous. It looks absolutely fantastic and so much to look forward to there. But then you've got the talking heads that all came together to say how excited they were for programming the console, and then the big reveal. The big reveal itself. It looks like a Wi-Fi router with a folder attached to either end. But with this announcement, it's finally on. Sony PlayStation Strikes Back versus the Xbox. Stupid name. But names aside, just look at them side to side. It's the Starship Enterprise versus the Borg Cube, quite frankly, in terms of looks. Let's just get to the hard facts, shall we? Let's get to the information that's interesting. So let's go through the specs, including the fact that the internal storage will be built in at 825 gigs for the first custom SSB, which is less than you'll find in the Xbox Series X. But the PS5 will be delivering 3.5 gigahertz frequency. Amazing. So the PlayStation should be running 8 times Zen 2 cores at 3.5 gigahertz at variable frequencies over the PS4's 8 times Jaguar cores at 1.6 gigahertz. Very simply put, the PS5 is far more powerful than the PS4 and indeed much more easy to code and develop for than its little brother, the PS3. But still, what we didn't get from this press conference that they air the day before we film, mind you, so thank you Sony for leaving it so late for me to have to write up an hour and a half's worth of coverage, is when they're coming out, how much they're going to cost, and will they be any good in it? Well, as best we can tell, the predictions have placed both prices in the region of $470 to $499, with Sony having the option of undercutting the Xbox with their digital version if they need to. The PlayStation 5 getting the nod as a slightly cheaper according to some sources as a result. However, as far as the dates are concerned, it's similar, both touted for release in early November of this year, barring any COVID-19 related delays. But which will be better? That's all we care about. Which is going to be better? Now we know some of the games due to be released, it's still tough to call, but based on its technical capabilities, the Xbox Series X seems to have the edge, but on broader consumer appeal, the PlayStation 5 appears to get the nod here. But the important thing of this is, what did you think about PS5's release, and how do you think it compares to the Series X Xbox? We want to hear from you, so leave us your thought in the comment section below. Did you check it out? If so, what did you make of the reveal, and what games out of the reveal are you most excited for? Please don't say Destruction All Stars. Now, I've been given a segment, a plug, because budget cuts. As you have seen today, times are tough, friends are few, and funds are fewer. Seems harsh. So I gotta earn my gotta earn my keep, which means we have to expand. Defunct Games is launching a Discord page soon, and here's what we want to hear from you. Look at camera, it says. What can we do to engage with you more? How can we reach you through the screen, pull you in and level it? Who the hell wrote that? A failed member of Blue? Anyway, Cyril and the bosses of Defunct Games want to hear from you. As for me, well, they tell me going forward, you get to pick the challenges. Any challenges I pass? Budget back? Wait a minute, I have to pass challenges from the audience and I get budget back if I pass, but I lose it if I fail.
Yeah, the bosses thought it'd be funny and good for
That doesn't seem very fair. Right. May I remind our beautiful, sexy, interesting, and always right audience members that challenges they're purely optional. They're not necessary for the show in any way, shape, or form. So please don't pay any attention to them, okay? Just pay attention to me. So hop into the comments, let us know what you want to see in the Discord, and stay tuned for updates coming soon. So remember, they're optional. You don't have to put challenges in, and if you do, they can be nice ones like have a cake, or have a tea, or you can just leave a compliment. Just a compliment would be great. The Defunct Games Discord. Go check it out. Now, as a great philosophical duo once said, the Miggity Mac will make you jump, jump, crisscross will make you jump, jump. And speaking of crossing and jumping platforms, that leads us to this next one. Piping hot segue there, guys, straight up fire. Who scripted this week? This is terrible. Now, as evidenced by the last console generation's release and the resulting tribalism and fanboyism that stemmed from people nailing their colors to their respective computing hardware, gaming with your friends is not as easy as one might think it could be. No, as a matter of fact, you had to make do with that dickhead that keeps teabagging you and that hole on the mic that keeps telling you that you're rubbish at gameplay. Well, that's not true. I actually have footage of me absolutely owning at gaming. In fact, it's Halo 2 from back in the day. Can we show that clip, please? We don't have the budget for my previous well, of course. Anyway, unless you're on the same games console, it was rare to be able to play games with everybody. All in the name of platforms attempting to win their respective console generations, whatever the hell that meant. But now it seems there's a growing trend in games that cross platforms. And while this seems to fly in the face of the established console business model, it could mean that we're entering a new era where gamers are free to play their games with whoever they want, irrespective of their platform of choice. And to support this as evidence, why don't we look at a few recent examples of games that are now crossing platforms so anyone can play with pretty much anyone else. You've got Fortnite, Rocket League, No Man's Sky, Minecraft, Need for Speed, Elder Scrolls Online, Black Desert Online. There's some pretty big hitters in that list, you have to agree. So how did it get to this point, and could cross-platforming be becoming more prominent in the next generation and beyond as we start to move away from hardware-dependent gaming? Well, one theory goes that Nintendo were approached by Epic Games and Fortnite demanding to cross-platform play, not only to improve the profitability of Fortnite, but also to help add exposure to its game store, which now contends with Steam. This led to Xbox approving crossplay with Nintendo, which in turn put pressure on Sony to join the fray. Absolutely mental to think that a free-to-play game could have caused that kind of stir, but I've heard it from a reliable source. However, what's clear is that should this trend continue, not only does this stand to benefit the consumer with more flexible options to buy into this generation without running the risk of fracturing their own friends base, engaging in futile tribalism, but for publishers this allows them to widen their consumer base as to who they can sell to. Now, this would also require, for this to be a mainstay and a systemic change to the industry, support from big publishers like EA, Bethesda, Activision, and so on and so forth. But with that support, and with the added benefit of being able to sell to a wider audience without having to worry about crossing party lines, we could be seeing a systemic change here. I mean, who knows, maybe we can rise up against our gaming overlords once and for all. Yeah, that means you, bosses of Defunct Games. This isn't over! And finally, we come to that part of the week where blah, 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 stuff I didn't get a chance to see. Let's at least try and end on a good note. So let's open up with a good one, shall we? 15 years ago, mothers and fathers up and down the country were shocked and dismayed that a game with content not suitable for children or teenagers had content that wasn't suitable for teenagers and children. In mid-June 2005, a software patch for GTA San Andreas, dubbed Hot Coffee, was released by Patrick Wildenborg under the internet alias Patrick W, a 38-year-old modder from the Netherlands who unleashed a mod found within the PC version of the game. This allowed players to take their girlfriend to their front door, and instead of jigging backwards and forwards as was the norm at the time, you could go in and watch simulated sex scenes that were crudely animated and seemed to be put together by someone that never actually seen human coitus in action. I mean, if you want to get more lewd material these days, just go through any Instagram model's timeline, or even just follow Donald Trump on Twitter. He's going to say something that's mildly controversial, I imagine. Life regurgitates art next as Sky Sports approaches FIFA to help it with its live transmissions of upcoming football games. The Verge reports that Sky Sports is working with EA Sports, utilising their years of experience recreating the atmosphere of football to create chants and crowd noises designed around individual teams to bolster broadcasts of live games as they recommence in the coming weeks. Matches will be taking place behind closed doors to help appease advertisers, fans, and indeed the players. EA will be assisting Sky in offering a multitude of features, including but not limited to the ability to let players decide whether or not they even want to watch it with it on, or have simulated crowd noises that are appropriated and influenced by the fans. Chants instigated by the fans. I can't see that going wrong. Here's one for you. What does everyone think of Tottenham? And what do you think of Here's a question for you. What do you think is the scariest thing in China right now? Stop, because you're wrong. It turns out it's a bloodthirsty, amber monster that perpetually and relentlessly torments the citizens of China. Yes, I of course speak of the devil, known as Winnie the Pooh. Taiwanese horror game Devotion is available for purchase again in Taiwan, but not in China. Main reason being, well, a meme of Winnie the Pooh appeared in the game, which is a direct reference to Chinese President Xi Jinping. And apparently, Xi Jinping has somewhat of a passing resemblance to WTP, and this appears to rustle his jimmies a little bit. Red Candle quickly released a patch and apologized a handful of times for the incident, but despite this, the Chinese authorities stripped them of their rights to sell the game in China, and they don't appear to be lifting the ban anytime soon. And finally, Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX has been announced for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Publisher Merge Games and developer Janken Team announced that Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX would be returning during IGN's Summer of Gaming 2020 livestream, and that it will launch in Q1 of 2021. First appearing in 1986 with Alex Kidd in Miracle World, for the young'uns out there, he was the precursor to Sonic the Hedgehog as Sega's fun-loving, cute and cuddly mascot, though lacking in dope-ass red shoes, overall blueness and rad demeanor. The iconic Alex Kidd will be making his return, according to the developer, to smash rocks, collect coins, tackle bosses, returning to the kingdom of Radaxian, and to see its newfound glory to destroy the evil Jankin the Great once again, in just
a few short months.
So yay, Alex Kidd, Retro Gamers Rejoice, yay. Oh, that's been another long week. Mine has been Lorne Riseley, host of Defunct Games News. Please like, share and subscribe. This has been Defunct Games News. Not quite unplugged, but unplugged enough that the power keeps going on and off. Speaking of which. Okay, that got it. And in the words of two great philosophers who don't get the credit they deserve, be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes. And I haven't forgotten the challenge. Challenge? Sony is the pony that's on its only in the 2-horse race for the gaming war console thing. Cringy enough?
Oh yeah, that's cringy.
Good,
as hell.
I'm out. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Oh, I fell over and I think I shit myself.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Defunct Games News. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that Lorne will be back next Sunday with even more news. Now here's the question I have for you. Were you satisfied with the PlayStation 5 announcement? Do you like the look of the system, the games? What about the whole vibe of the press conference? Let me see your thoughts in the comments below. In other news, this is gonna be a chaotic week. I had technical problems last week, so we're gonna try to get everything back to normal this week. Now let's see if that happens. If you don't mind a little chaos, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.